Hey Mike.
Hello.
Hello Francine. Hello Mandy. So you know Birgit Smothers? Yeah. And you are in the same city then? So one more and you can start the City of Light in Tulsa. Yeah. You are muted. Can you unmute yourself or should I do it?
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I have talked to people and sharing information and getting people excited and have a meeting with Bridget and some others Thursday. So
Wow. Excellent. I hope we can inspire you because we've been doing this for 11 years already. Taos City of Light was anchored on the 999, September 9, 2009. So we know what it's like, and it's all about group work and keep going in even when you feel you want to give up.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's the coordinator that is the core has to keep going on even if there's no more people, because people will come if you hold the energy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm hoping for. Trying to stay patient and just trust in divine timing.
Yeah. So tell us, what brought you to Group of 40? What sparked it?
Well, my journey is I started, I think, had an awakening and started experiencing some, UFOs, and that kind of shifted a lot for me. And then recently kind of had another reawakening and started just receiving a lot of information coming to me. And my interest led me to a lot of Arcturian information. I feel very in so much alignment with their messages, and started reading David's books. And I was kind of knowing that I was supposed to work with ley lines for a while. And then when I read his books, I instantly knew somehow I was supposed to be burying crystals somewhere. And then I reached out, and Bridget called me the next morning that I reached out, and she was like, I've been praying for somebody to contact me. And
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
just kind of led me to the information, and I've just known that I was supposed to be creating sacred space. And there's a lot of density here. In Tulsa, there's a lot of density. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you for stepping up, because one of the things we have been doing, we have been sending out this call for the younger people like you to awaken and step up to their positions, because we are we've been doing this for 60 or more years, so we need younger people like you who still have all that energy. It's it's so needed on this planet, that what you bring, that's the new generation that's gonna make the change, really. So in the past many Zoom meetings, we focused on building the thought field, thought form of the higher evolutionary being, which Juliano likes to call the Homo Omega. But we call it the higher evolutionary being. And we've been kind of imprinting that image we have been building. It's like working with sacred geometry and imprinting it, programming the crystal. What do we want this integrated, awakened human being, which is androgynous, how do we want it to be? And then we shared it with the human collective. So it's there. It's like what we are doing here, we are in the future. So we create something in the future, it's downloaded, into the energy field, and then the human collective works towards it. And so I think now it's time to start talking about this awakened human being enlarged, right, as a collective. And this will be topic of our next ceremony. We're gonna download that into that unified energy field of Taos. We're gonna be visioning how does this community live like, how do people behave, interact, feel, what they say. And when we started with the higher evolutionary being, interestingly, we avoided completely to talk about what we don't want to see, which is very good, because when you talk about what you don't want to see, you still are giving it energy. So we're not doing that. We are just verbalizing our visions of how does this awakened collective live like. So we are visioning it, we are creating an energy field. And many people around the planet are doing that. And they may not know what they are actually doing, that they are creating a thought field. But they do variety of spiritual practices with intention that people live in love and peace. So we always do this. We never do anything on our own. Spirit is always with us. Our guidance team is always with us. And then we do it as a collective, and together we rise up. And I would like to take you outside. So here we are on the deck. And down there, you see the medicine wheel for the Divine Feminine. Each spoke is dedicated to one of the female ascended masters. And I tell you more about it when we come back. What I thought I'm gonna do for you. I'll play for you my harp out here. This harp play itself. I don't have to do anything. I'm the hollow straw. I am the instrument. I let the spirit come and flow through me. So it plays differently, depends on where I am. Calling forth the Native American spirits, all those who stayed behind to be here for us now in these times of transition. So the medicine wheel is dedicated to Divine Feminine. And we have 8 spokes there. We have Isis in northeast. With her comes Saint Germain, and they work with the violet transmuting flame. So see it all, see your reality engulfed in this violet transmuting flame, and with this transmuting flame, which transmute everything back into light, is the love. Love is that which will transmute this reality. Love it all as it arises. Imagine going through your daily life, seeing everything engulfed in violet transmuting flame. Love it all and let it be transmuted with the light which emanates from your heart. And I have just learned that it is the Zohar light, which is the light of the radiance. So the Omega light, the undifferentiated light, splits in several types of lights, and one of them is the Zohar light, which is the radiance. So let's welcome Hathors. Hathors come from the east with the star nations, our connection to the star people. Very important here in the southwest, where this connection was always very strong. Once again, let's acknowledge our ancestors, the ancient ones, the Anasazis. Southeast, green Tara. South, Mary Magdalene. Actually, Mother Mary in south. Mother Mary in the south. Southwest. Welcome Mary Magdalene, Joshua, and thousands of angels. Mary Magdalene always arrives with thousands of angels. The angels being higher aspects of ourselves. When you connect with with the angelic presence, you are connecting with an aspect of yourself. West, Kuan Yin, and with Kuan Yin arrives Babaji, a counterpart, a great master. The golden dragons arrive from the direction of northwest. Golden dragons, the creator, the divine feminine creator power. The golden dragons, the seraphims, and all the angelic orders, they arrive from the northwest. And from the north, let's welcome our beloved white buffalo house woman. And with her are arriving all the female Native American masters, including Spirit Fire. And they want to be with us. And we connect with the very core of the Mother Earth, with the multidimensional core of Gaia. Feeling into this deep connection. Because that's why we are here. We came here to be here, to hold the frequency who we are for the planet and for the humanity. We have to fully arrive into these physical bodies. We are asked to love it so much that you are fully present. And through the crown chakra, let's connect with the sun, and great central sun, the creator, source, God. Bring in this golden light of your higher self and radiate it into all directions. Fully here, here and now. And now let's open the circle. So we are sitting in a circle, and in the middle of our circle is this sad form. And in that sad form are many awakened human beings. The higher evolutionary human being is here en masse. So let's talk about how we see these people relating to each other. How can you describe them? Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I first envisioned people having the time to be able to help each other with their projects and being more self-sustaining. Time not being an issue for people, to not feel like they have to go to survive, and to be able to focus on their sacred space and connection with our mother, to be able to grow the food and medicine we need to continue our healing process.
Beautiful. So let's imagine all that in that sad form we are building. Who wants to go next? Francine?
If I close my eyes, can you hear me? If I close my eyes, I can see their eyes, and it's like a window to their soul. As all ascended masters, angels, I see their eyes as clear, and it goes into their soul, and they communicate with their eyes as much as their thoughts. And I just see the beauty. I see the beauty of their eyes.
Yeah. And the love emanating from these eyes. Just love pouring out. Visualize that. There was a gentleman that joined us in our last ceremony at the high frequency loft, and he was like that. And it was so strange because we are not used to it. When you see somebody like this, it's like, wow. Oh. So let that be a new normal. Love pouring of people's eyes. Can you imagine go to the supermarket? Everybody you see. Love pouring out of people's eyes. Mike? You muted?
I think you said everything that I would say, which is the acknowledgement and open expression of love. I think if we don't see that now, coming from the eyes with the masks on, that's our fault, because we need to be looking for that. I think it's there. I think that at the market, in the store, Walmart, or whatever, that's available to us. We just have to put ourselves in that position so we're open to it. And it's all based on divine love. So I mean, that's what I come back to no matter what. So it has to be there.
Yeah.
Another one, in a group, a sweat lodge and Vision Quest the other day, I pointed out another meditation we can do. It's not normal, if you will. But every approaching car, look at that person that's driving and relate to them, feel love for them. It's just, we have to find these, I don't know if like tools or expressions, and they're there if we choose to do so.
Yeah.
So it's all about, again, just another form of love and seeing who is really there. And because you have to do that so quickly as they drive by. They're doing 45 and I'm doing 45, and that's 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But we can do it.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it today, because the way we live the life, we see all the other people are zero. They're like nobody there. So we need to acknowledge them, their presence, their beauty.
Yeah, I think I'm so used to being in the city, people being scared or having fear, trying to maybe and visualizing their fear falling away, or getting too close, you know?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, the fear, huh? It's always the fear. Julian?
I visualize these beings. I don't even see a physical body. I see balls of light, white, golden, purple, light blue, light. Really speaks to me of transcending this physical density and being free, being mobile, really having access to other planes, other dimensions. The thoughts and higher frequencies that go with that.
Yeah. Yes. So everybody, let's add that to the thought form we are building. Now, I would like to share, I was listening to this hypnotherapy, and the woman described an ancient life somewhere in ancient times of Egypt, when the frequency on the planet was still very high. And she said, we live in love. The love is so ingrained in the way how you go through your day that you sort of slow down. You are mindful. You do everything consciously, fluently. There's no rush. There's a slow transition from one task to the other task. And you love it all. You live in love. And when the hypnotherapist asked her, so what do you do? She said, oh, we just go by our day hanging out with our loved ones. And we just hang out, we have good time. And of course we have jobs, but those are the jobs we have chosen. We love them. It's pure joy for us. So they just float ourselves through the reality in beauty, in harmony. So let's visualize that and add that to the thought form we will share with the entire collective. What else can we imagine? Yes? This being would be radiant. So the light would simply radiate from you, just like everything will be radiating around you, because the frequency will be so high, it will be all engulfed in shimmering light, it will be shimmering reality. And of course, we will not get there as a jump from one place to another, but there will be a journey to it. So for some people, they may have a sudden awakening and see everything engulfed in shimmering light, and the others have to walk there and see it more and more as love and beauty. So it is already, the Taos City of Light is there. We may not see it with the physical eyes. We are walking there. At the same time, we can imagine it, we live it, we feel it, it is here. Because the time, time and space doesn't exist, really. So these beings, these people, they live in harmony and cooperation. Maybe they have an autonomous governing. Maybe there's a council where there's equally men and women represented. These people are there because they chose that, because that's what they burn for. Represent the entire community, be the representative. Be the one that's able to speak on behalf of many. And of course, these council members, they may not agree because they are supposed to bring different perspectives. So we have a full view. Many people live on prana, many choose to keep continue eating. Because this is a transitional reality. So when we talk about this concept, we can talk about how it will be 5 years from now and 20 years from now or 100 years. And while in past there will be a huge milestones, now the milestones are, it's progressing so fast. We are awakening en masse. Francine?
We can take into account nature and how we relate to nature. A long time ago, when I lived in Colorado, I went into the fifth dimension, probably for about 10 minutes, out in nature in this sacred spot. And what I experienced was even a crack in a piece of wood was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. It was so beautiful that there wasn't anything that wasn't beautiful. And it didn't matter what it was, and so my sense is when this Omega man woman and the fifth and higher dimension is going to be breathtaking for us all, for anyone that exists in that dimensional form. And if at some point they're on the earth and this ascended earth energy, it's when I see those people back in Egypt, they just lived in the beauty of being walking on this planet. And as this earth ascends, this new energy form of human will also experience, and us too, if we're lucky enough to experience just radiant beauty from being here physically. I just came outside because it's beautiful out here today. It's just, the sun is shining.
Yeah.
The trees are waving, the air, a little bit of smoke, but it's beautiful. The trees are all waving in the wind. You know, my eyes just can take in the beauty. I look at all the birds have been extremely active this week, just enjoying themselves. You know, just beautiful.
Yeah. Here too, the smoke finally lifted. So we have beautiful clear sky. And this morning I had an encounter with a squirrel and a rabbit. It's like, wow, they don't run away. It was new. And they're not afraid to be in my presence. So, well, let's add that to the vision of the new society. So the animals, they trust people, right? And they come and hang out, and you know what happens when you see an animal, you know, how your frequency rises all automatically, seeing this little furry mammal or the chirping bird, how much joy that brings. So let's visualize this society, this animal connection to the animal kingdom and plant kingdom, these conscious communications with plants. Imagine growing plants and able to communicate with them what you can grow. Because you know what to give them, how to take care of them. And then of course crystals, I'm holding the Andara. So all this conscious communication with all these forms of life. Of course, understanding the aspect that you came here to embody yourself in your fullest, highest aspect, and for that you have to understand that you are this hollow straw. Bring the spirit true in its raw form without any fear. Bring it all in and express it. That's why you have the physical body, to express the spirit in your own way in this reality. And we all are equally important, because otherwise we don't understand the life, the grand mystery of life. You can't understand it from one person's viewpoint. You know, you need everybody's viewpoint. And that's what happens when we unify. We bring it all into the forefront of the consciousness. You know, bring it all in. Okay, let's go. So before we go into meditation, would you like to add anything else to the vision we are building?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
A good friend passed on, I guess, October 1st. And we've been friends for 30 years. And I've been asked to do the presentation for him at the memorial. That'll be November 7th. And what came to me very early on was, it's almost trite, if you will. It's almost self-evident, but it's what came to me, and that is, you can't tell someone I love you enough times. You can't tell them I'm grateful for you enough times. And then this is a friend that we've done a lot together over 30 years, and I attended 9 forgiveness ceremonies last year and led 7 of them, but I never had to forgive him. We got along well. We didn't always agree, but in my teacher Bearhart's tradition, what he would say is forgiveness. Excuse me. I just had some apple juice and it's really messed my mind up with the sugar. But peace is not the absence of conflict, but the resolution of conflict with love. And I think there's so much truth in that, because we always resolved our issues in a loving way over a 30-year period. He was head of the Gathering of Circles. I led the Vision Quest. And so sometimes I was leading, sometimes he was leading. But again, you can't say I love you enough. You can't say I'm grateful for you enough. That's so important.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you brought up that aspect, because we are still human, and even when we are awakened collective, we are not asked to agree on everything, because this is a universe built on the principles of polarity, right? Yin and yang. So that there will be oppositions. Even as you are transcending and going up the dimensions, there still will be polarity, although it will be narrower and narrower, because that's how the universe operates, right? So even the Galactic Council, they may not agree on anything, and there might be opposition. So there might be opposition in the awakened collective as well, because without that there will be no evolution. Everything would be going like this. So we are helping each other to grow, to see different points and unify and agree and create something new. So let's go into
one more thing, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't like the word balance, because that's what you're talking about, is going like this. Balance is, to me, not the right word. I like dynamic balance, where it goes like this, and that's the masculine and feminine interaction for me. It's sometimes the feminine leads, sometimes the masculine leads, but it's whatever is appropriate. And a friend of mine wrote a book, Joyce Anastasia wrote a book called Exceptional Leadership for Exceptional Times, and I read it 3-4 times, but we're starting a module with the True Storytelling Institute tomorrow, Monday, and we're going to use her book, and she's one of 3 leaders on how we can achieve change. We just finished a module on intercultural systemic racism, and that was really good. And that international group coming together. So I'm anxious to see that, but the dynamic balance is a major aspect in her book. She has 7 points, and that's one of the 7. I think it's so important that we be in that adjustable mode rather than fixated on what is the right answer.
Yeah. right? Coming into center. So, I don't have my bowl here, so I'm using the rubber today. So let's be here and now in present time. We are gathered here with intention to create a sad form, a sad field representing the awakened human collective. We feel into our entourage. All the beings from Anna Heights that work with us collectively and individually. They are coming closer, being part of our energy field, which we are now co-creating. And let's bilocate, let's rendezvous in the ring of ascension. And here we are met by the ascended masters. And we are looking down on the planet. We see the Taos subcrystal rising, so the etheric crystal duplica of the Mount Shasta crystal, which is located below the plaza, is rising up in atmosphere. At the same time, we see the Santa Fe etheric crystal rising. This one is also a duplica of the Mount Shasta etheric crystal, which has to do with ability to connect with Mother Earth, something many people forgot in these days. And finally we see the Fairhope, Alabama subcrystal rising. This one is a duplica of the Mount Montserrat crystal, which holds the sacred energy, the messianic consciousness. It's our connection to Joshua. So these crystals are forming a perfect triangle, and we align this triangle with our sad field. We align it with starship Athena, we align it with the Iskalia mirror, and we call forth Omega light with intention to flow through the Iskalia mirror, with intention to help us to download this sad form into the human collective. Omega light. This pure, undifferentiated Omega light is flowing through the Iskalia mirror and being given the intention to assist us. It is entering the sad field. Visualize we are sitting in a medicine wheel with all the ascended masters at the ring of ascension, and the ring of ascension is now in the noosphere. So when Juliano told us that it's now in the noosphere, I thought, wow, so it means it wasn't there before, and that means that the ascended masters are able to get closer to the planet and human collective, because the collective is raising in frequency. So now the meeting point is within the sphere of the planet, in the noosphere, where is also the planetary and the human collective conscious and unconscious. See again this thought field as a beautiful crystalline form. So we are working with sacred geometry. We see sacred geometry, we see light, we feel all that love emanating from it. It's a beautiful diadem, receiving the light from the Iskalia mirror, receiving all the assistance from all the masters that work with us, the Arcturians. And now let's bring this form into state of shimmering. Shimmer, 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 shimmer out. And it disperses. It impregnates the human collective conscious and unconscious, the noosphere. This light is permeating everything. It's descending down through the atmosphere, through the biosphere, into the physical realm, permeating everything. May every human being be able to expand and receive this. And so now it's in their energy field. It's there. And if it will be upon them, if they are able to attract it to the forefront of their consciousness, and when. So although it's there available to everybody, it will be everybody's individual choice based on their frequency. See beautiful communities of light popping up everywhere. See it like popcorn popping up. First we planted the seed, we grow the corn, and now it's time for the harvest and celebration. See the corn popping up everywhere, turning into these beautiful flowerlets. It's blossoming. The reality, the collective is blossoming. Beautiful communities of light popping up on your screen everywhere. Beautiful cities of light. See Taos City of Light. See Santa Fe City of Light. See Fairhope City of Light. See Tulsa City of Light. They are all connected. They are connected with each other, they are connected with all the other cities of light. This beautiful network of light, these new ley lines we have created. This network of light, this foundation for the new just society based on love and freedom and joy and harmony. Imagine once again how it is to live in joy. Be happy all the time. For everything is good, even if something's not unfolding to your liking. It still may have a meaning, a purpose. It is what it is. We are in a transitioning reality. We are transforming this reality into light with our ability to be able to think it, see it, feel it, be it, embody it, express it, and share it. So we are still sitting in the medicine wheel at the ring of ascension, looking at this beautiful planet surrounded in shimmering light. It is our light. Feel your love for this planet. Feel the joy of being alive, to live here in this moment of time. Be part of this grand, this miraculous, this extraordinary, this superb. So the thought form is shared. The crystals which supported us are now descending, taking their position. And we are bilocating back. We are hovering above our bodies, entering the physical body in perfect alignment, as it was shifting already while we was traveling. Now the physical body is ready to embody this higher evolutionary being and its relationship to the collective. All fear is gone. You are allowed to be who you are. Say hello to all the cells in your bodies, all the subatomic particles, shimmering in joy, in perfect alignment with your highest potential. One of the reasons why we are doing this meditation is to prepare these physical bodies for increasingly higher and high frequency. For we are here to birth Taos City of Light. We need strong physical bodies, and we are preparing. This is all just rehearsal. So let's be here and now in present time and say thank you for this journey. Thank you to all those who joined us, who are still here with us, who came because of our resonance. We attracted them. We are one, and so it is. And when you are ready, come back and tell me what you experienced. Did you go into nothingness, Mike?
No, I really didn't. I stayed with the words, which that's fine.
I sure was enjoying looking at the mountain. It's nice here. Mandy?
Inner stillness.
Huh?
Peace and inner stillness.
I feel like you almost took me out of my body there for a second.
Well, that was
Almost fell out of my chair.
You were supposed to go out of body.
I'm still learning that. But Yeah, I'm really new to tapping into visualizing with meditation. A lot of my meditation has been movement and like yoga and movement. So what I experience now when I start to you know lose my body more now, because I think that was always my barrier, is kind of not paying attention to what my body felt like, or an itch here, the sounds. But I see a lot of flashes lately, like kind of neon flashes. It kind of depends on what kind of state I'm in, but that is multicolored this time. It seems just multicolor flashes of light lately, so yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing it up, because that's one of the parts of the Awakened Human Collective, where we use the body more to express the energy flowing through us. Because it's a continuous transition throughout your day. You are constantly receiving, transmitting. And that will be part of the new normal, to use the hands and the body to express the energy more. Before we was rather stiff, right? And
Yeah.
the channelers channeling like one word after the other. Like fishing, it was struggle. Now it's just flow, and you don't need to use the words. You use the sound, use the movement. Just move the energy because it wants to flow. Francine?
I pretty much just visualized what you were saying, with the intention, to where we are right now with this earth and this pause that we're all in. We're in this massive pause to allow for anyone who wants this energy to be there and to connect with it. I believe that where it's all there for us, for everyone, and it has to do with bringing in this massive amount of self-love. And I feel that as more people experience their self-love, that they'll be able to connect more with the source energy, that is an allowance for love to exist and a more and more, in a larger and expansive basis on this earth. And so it felt like this Omega energy was very vibrant and just surrounding the earth. I could just visualize this. It's time. I don't know. It's hard to explain, totally. My sense is I'm just being an allowance for the ebb and flow of life. Everything, the flow of stuff in, the flow of stuff out in me, without judging it, and just being an allowance for this self-love to be with me more and more. Allowing the old patterns of it has to be this way, it has to be that way, I have to feel this way, I have to be this way, I have to fix it. You know, I'm enjoying the flow no matter what it feels like. So I'm appreciative of this energy being around me and being able to connect with it.
Yeah. Everything will be much easier once we let go of the judgment. I just had a realization when there is something I see in a friend that I don't like, and I would tend to go and judge it. I look at it as a mirror, reminding myself that the reason why I see it, which is the first reason why I'm judging it, right? I see it. The reason why I see it, because I've been there. And that gives me an opportunity to say thank you myself that I'm not that way anymore. And that kind of bypasses the judgment altogether. Anybody else?
Yeah, one part of my journey was to a lot of the information that I found was the realization of the exactly how we are slaves, you know, in what ways we are slaves, how we've been slaves in the past few thousand years, and how we're being liberated from that. And being in Tulsa, we have a very historical and well-known underground tunnel systems, and so a lot of my journey into information has been, researching human trafficking and our underground tunnel systems. And I'm kind of an activist for that. And I started a kind of a online group for my area as OK Citizens Against Human Trafficking. And I've just, come in contact with a lot of people and a lot of realizations. And I guess, long story short, I recently had my, you could say my life and my safety threatened. And to a point where it was a demonic attack in the 3D world. It wasn't human, but it was able to affect my partner physically, and it was a very scary experience. And it kind of made me realize that I was trying to fight the 3D war with 3D tools, And I had to take a step back from the 3D world and being involved in that. And I've really struggled at knowing how to move forward and speaking my truth, because I know that the attack was something to scare me. And that's when I found Bridget. You know, that's when I found, when I knew that I had to do something greater to fight the, you know, entities in my area. Because they were aware that I was aware of them, you know. And so that's when I found, you know, got to a certain point in the messages and the information that I reached out. And so I feel like I've found kind of a, you know, understanding what our thought forms, how powerful we are. And then I kind of found people that understood that, you know. And I guess really what I'm asking is maybe just to, you know, pray for protection and, you know, not, I feel protected, but in walking forward and moving forward and trying to cleanse the denseness of the area, you know, I know that if I don't receive it on a physical 3D level, then I might receive it on a force or a psychic level, you know. And I really, you know, I struggle with the psychic attack too. So, it's getting better, but just maybe pray for the children, you know, that are being liberated. Because it's not over.
Yes. We too have lots of tunnels underneath New Mexico, and we have a base underneath Taos, and there's several of them in New Mexico. And I asked Juliano about it in question and answers, and he said the bases in New Mexico, they are built primarily because of the nuclear industry, so they serve as a huge retreat for people to go to in case there is emergency. And he recommended to ignore it, to not do anything with it, because it would lower our frequencies, and our job is to shine your light as bright as you can, and that's your focus. Be the light. You could go and engage and fight what's happening out there, but you are going into war. So you have to know what's your task here on this planet. Do you want to be light, and do you want to hold the vision for the future, or you want to be part of that which is crumbling down and which others are already skilled and equipped to deal with and specialized in? So creating a city of light would be the best choice for you. And of course you could, and we can help you with that. We can help you to download a copy of one of the 12 etheric crystals we have downloaded with the Arcturians. So they have different frequency and guardians, and based on what you think the energy you need in Tulsa, you would choose one of these 12, and then we can help you to create duplicate and download it, and we can do it online.
Yeah, I think that's, I definitely feel, I asked for clarity, and within 12 hours I literally had a manual, a handbook. So I'm really excited to be able to like you said, not focus on what's crumbling, but help build
the new
and higher.
Mike?
I want to go back to what one of the things that Ariana talked about, say it a little differently. It's what you resist, you energize. If you know, if you take away the fist, there's nothing that can attack you. In the work that I've done over 30 years, I've been attacked a few times by witches and entities and energies. And what I found was, what worked for me is to fill myself with love. The biggest thing for me was recognizing that I was being attacked. And I would recognize it by, I was suddenly very, very tired. I was, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then when I recognized it, I would be filling myself with love. And just within 2 or 3 minutes, the energy or the entity was gone. So that worked for me. I talked to a Lakota elder that I really respect. And I said, Basil, what do you do? And he said, that is a problem. That has been a problem. He said, what you do is you keep doing the right thing and eventually they won't bother you. It's easy to say that, but in reality, it's hard to get past that, do it long enough. But you know, that's concrete advice. Just do the right thing, and not, if you can avoid the fear, it's hard to avoid fear, but if you avoid the fear and don't go into that, they don't know what to do. If you don't go into anger or fear, human beings don't know what to do. So I've been threatened, I don't know, half dozen times physically, and end up hugging the person by not going into fear and being present and communicating and things. Doesn't mean I won't get beat up someday down the road, but just do the best you can on the fear. What works, whatever works for you to do that. If it's the yoga or something that, I asked him, I couldn't get grounded after a vision quest, leading a vision quest. And I said, Basil, what do you do? And he said, that was a long, and this guy's led hundreds of ceremonies, sun dances, vision quest, you weepies. And he said, you don't want to drive away the energies. You don't want to do anything negative to do that. Take a feather and wipe yourself down, a fan or a wing, and put it in the earth. And then just live with that. And he said that if you drive it away, when you want a positive energy, it may not be there. So you allow it to be. He said, that's the new paradigm. We walk with one foot in what we would call fifth dimension or spirit. For his, it would be spirit for him, and one more foot in this reality. And it leaves us disoriented. I mean, that's where I was. I mean, I couldn't get grounded. But we have to learn how to use these tools. It's not something that we're used to day in, day out doing. So I go to consult with someone who's an expert like that, and I talked to him on a Wednesday, and I had done the vision quest the week before, so it was almost a week and a half that I wasn't grounded, and driving was a problem, and balancing the checkbook and bumping into things. But that was Wednesday morning I talked to him, and Saturday I woke up, and I was grounded. I knew it. So we just have to learn our tools. That's kind of the bottom line. That doesn't directly apply to what you're talking about on the demonic forces or whatever. But you have to learn what works for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and as Francine said, we always think we have to fix something or heal something. When you go all the way to the top, when you align with God, when you are the hollow bone, the voice for the spirit, when you love it all, you are on top of it. At that, when you hold that, there's nothing to heal, nothing to fix. That's what I choose. To go straight, go to the top, go to the God, love it all, be love. That's my job. That's why I came here, and that's what brings me joy. Go to the river and play my harp
You're good at that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
There are healing chambers around the earth. You can connect with the whales in the water. You can connect with, there are large healing centers, chambers in the North Pole. You can always ask to go into any light source to just be a higher frequency. You know, the fear has what you experienced. I think fear, they did that to me one time when I was sleeping not too long ago, last fall, and cut my cord to source. And I had to go to a friend and we reconnected me. And it was just being in a house, sitting in someone's house where there was a son who had died, who was angry, wasn't angry at me, but didn't like me in the house. And I just had to reconnect and be the light. So ask for any guidance to just, you know, be the light, and eventually anything that's not of the highest frequency for you will just dissipate automatically. So just, you know, ask for your guidance to bring in more light for you. That's all, and be the light.
Yeah. The light.
And ask for prayers.
Huh?
Ask for prayers of this group. You know, I mean, we're your support group, and it's a powerful group. So if you're having difficulties, you got to be open and honest about it and admit, here's what's going on.
I was in total fear this morning.
Yeah.
And just feeling the fear of the earth. And I just did some manual tapping and saying, I'm in fear. I can I can shift this because I can just tap my body, and along with some very nice, wonderful people who tap their bodies, and it goes, because you take responsibility for your own self and for who you are, and whatever you're feeling is fine. So sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Well, that's fine. That's such an important point. But what I was trying to get to was, I can't pray for someone or send healing energy or anything unless asked. I have to be asked, and you can ask. I mean, that you can ask the universe. You can ask us. We're available. So that's the important thing, is you're not alone. We probably, I think basically we all have been through things like you're talking about. That's the nice thing about being old. We have experience. It's a base of things we've developed, if you will. My base is love. I mean, that's where I had a mystical experience 30 years ago, and so that's what I come from. And I'm not the source of that. I can like Ariana's talking about it. She talks about the straw. I talk about the hollow bone, and that can be the vehicle for that. But you know, we've got to be asked, because otherwise it's taking your free will. If I offer prayers for you without you asking.
So ask.
Oh, well then, if I had to pray for anything, it would be to walk forward with confidence, where I can attract and the light, so I can attract the people that I need, and that I know are divinely coming to me, to create Tulsa as a more a higher frequency city, you know, to raise the frequencies in our city and be able to provide for more people, you know, so we can be better service. I think they're coming. I can feel them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what worked for me here in Taos is to find a place where you will all meet and hold that place, and they will come to you. Don't go look out for them out there. It didn't work. They have to come to you. You have to attract them. So what we do, we meet at the yoga studio, which is a great place because they do lots of advertising, right? And lots of people come there who are already interested in better lifestyle. So that worked out for us. Of course, now during the pandemic it doesn't work, but it worked before because they do the advertising, because they have website, because they have everything, Facebook. So you just plug in and
Yes, that's good. I'll have to find a central location.
yeah.
And that's one process. That's Ariana's. I have a different one. This is one aspect of my spiritual path. I work with the Dene, the Navajo. I work with the Lakota and Apaches. I work with the Gathering of Circles, which is a multi-based spiritual group. I lead Vision Quest. So I go out. I do go out, and what I say is, in the Native American way, you have to find the medicine that feeds you. What is your medicine, and what's not your medicine? I mean, some things aren't. I'm not a plant medicine guy. I've done 1 ayahuasca and 7 peyote ceremonies. My teacher was a peyote roadman. I've never smoked pot, so plant medicines are not for me. But they are for a lot of people. So you have to try. I think you need to try things, and if things come into you, yes, like Ariana's saying, but that's her process. It's to wait and let people come in.
So what Juliano suggested is that we work with the native people of the land, and they are not always open to that, working with us white people. But then there are people like Mike Tribers who practices the living closer to the earth, with earth, in harmony with earth. So it's good if you have somebody, native people, who practice these ways because they have a greater understanding for harmonizing and working with Gaia. So it's always good to have these people on board because they represent another angle.
What I said for the first 14 years after my mystical experience, where I experienced divine love, I didn't say out in the Native American way. People say they're on the red road. I didn't say I'm on the red road. I said I'm on the path of the direct experience of the divine. That was what my base was. I mean, it was also honesty and truthfulness and love. Those 3 things. But when I was offered in 2004 an opportunity to lead Vision Quest by my teacher, who was a Native American, I said I had to step onto the red road, which is different. As a white guy, I resonate with what they're doing, like Ariana's talking about earth-based spiritualities or whatever. But I do my own, if you will. But then what my teacher, one of his statements was, honor the local altar. If I'm doing Apache work, I don't bring in the Lakota. If I'm doing Lakota work, I don't bring in the Apache. Because that's not the local altar. So, but you have to, again, find your medicine. You know, you have to try some things. I mean, mine includes Adyashanti, who came up through the Zen path, and Amachi, and Mother Mira. So all these things I've tried, and I resonate with some of them, and the stuff that I don't resonate with, I don't do. So it's different. I mean, again, there's so many paths up the mountain. Each one is tailored for us. I think what Gaia wants is all this variety, you know, not us to be cookie cutter models of each other. What is it that we bring to this? What is our base? Your work on the tunnels and on the history is very important. That brings back ways to deal with our racism. It goes back to dealing with things that I thought were gone in our culture. In my world, they were gone. But you know, I look at the politics now, and I look at our leadership and what's going on, and okay, we've got other things to go back and do. And that's where your calling seems to be, at least partly.
Yeah. So what we are doing here, we are birthing the galactic shamanism. We are the starseeds. We are working with expansion into the galactic consciousness, becoming galactic citizen. At the same time, we are working with the shamanic practices of the native peoples. So we are birthing the galactic shamanism by blending these two, because these native people, they always acknowledge the star people, they always work with crystals, right? So we are kind of bringing it all together. And as Juliano said, the native people, they may not always want to work with you because they do their own work, but there are those who stay behind, or the ascended masters of the native people. So we can call on the white buffalo calf woman, spirit fire, chief white eagle, chief buffalo heart, and there's others. So call on the ancient people of the land around you, because they stayed behind to be there for you now. And they are willing to work.
You know, along with all the Kuan Yin and Mother Mary and all the ascended, the angels, you can call on anyone. You know, I work with a galactic group every week. I work with this group. The important, what they're saying is important right now is to be part of groups, to blend your energy, to increase the frequency, even if it's just with one other person.
Yeah.
We don't, you know, in this group, it ebbs and flows every week, who comes and who doesn't come. And it's okay. And when your allowance that any grouping that our higher self brought us together in a group to increase the frequency of what we're doing, bringing in love, that you know, it's just part of the intention to, and we were all individuals, and now we're accepting the fact that we're all connected to everyone in the universe, on the earth, everything. We're all connected.
Yeah.
You know, to the homeless person on the street, to the person driving past you, the person in the grocery store, we're all connected to them all. So
Okay, folks, let's finish this let's finish this Zoom gathering with saying, let's until we see each other next time, let's go through the day with loving it all. Be in love with doing your dishes. Be in love with tying your shoes. let love, you know, be there in every moment, no matter what you're doing. And so next weekend I hope to see you either in person or on Zoom during the ceremony. I'm sure it will be fun. And you, Francine, consider if you want to come up. I'll let you know if I hear that there are people from Santa Fe coming up.
Right. It's my intention to come,
Yeah.
or they keep telling me, you know, be nice to show up physically. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It was nice to meet you, Mandy. All best with the creation of your City of Light. It's already there, of course. It's there now. So it's just put it on paper. Download it into the physical. Yeah. Yeah, will be happy to be part of that process and download. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.